Welcome to Cape Town News. Today is Sunday, the 28th of September, 2025, and in case you missed it, here's a recap of the top stories that made headlines in the Western Cape this past week. South Africa's construction industry has seen a decisive crackdown, with Public Works and Infrastructure Minister Dean McPherson confirming that 40 contractors have been blacklisted by the Construction Industry Development Board. The announcement marks a dramatic shift, as only one contractor had been blacklisted in more than 2 decades before reforms began in 2023. According to McPherson, the decision is about restoring accountability in a sector plagued by incomplete projects, poor delivery, and corruption that has cost taxpayers and weakened trust. He emphasized that the blacklisted contractors will no longer be eligible to bid for tenders or secure public works contracts, saying this action delivers on his promise to South Africans that those who underperform will be removed from the system. The minister noted that many reforms have already taken hold, including filling key vacancies, strengthening procurement systems, and introducing accountability measures. The department is also refining processes to speed up blacklisting decisions and recover funds from failed contractors, ensuring that public money is protected. McPherson added that these blacklisting cases are proof that reforms are working, describing the previous lack of enforcement as unacceptable and damaging to confidence in government infrastructure projects. Industry watchers say the crackdown signals a new era of enforcement, where failing to deliver will no longer be tolerated. The Construction Industry Development Board's firmer stance is expected to improve quality in public projects and provide more opportunities for reliable contractors. For Cape Townians, this could mean greater confidence that major construction projects, from schools to hospitals and roads, will be completed on time and to standard. McPherson concluded that cleaning up the industry is a long-term mission, but one that will deliver real benefits for communities across the Western Cape and beyond. Elsie's River is reeling after the murder of a 14-year-old boy in what police suspect is gang-related violence. The teen was gunned down on Friday afternoon in 18th Avenue, sustaining multiple gunshot wounds to the head. Captain F.C. Van Wyk, spokesperson for SAPS, confirmed that the boy was found lying in the road when officers arrived. 5 suspects, aged between 16 and 30, were arrested following an urgent investigation involving Elsie's River detectives and the anti-gang unit. They are due to appear in the Goodwood Magistrates Court today. While authorities pursue justice, the brutality of the attack has sparked widespread grief and anger. Local activists described the heart-wrenching scene, noting that the father could only identify his son by his school clothes and shoes because his face was so badly damaged. Community members gathered in protest, saying mothers are forced to live in fear and that gang violence has become tragically normalized. One resident questioned the absence of political leaders, asking why the president and other officials failed to visit affected families. The killing has renewed calls for urgent intervention in gang-ridden communities, where children are increasingly caught in crossfire. For many, the tragedy highlights systemic neglect of the Cape Flats and the desperate need for stronger policing, social support, and long-term strategies to protect young lives. The Western Cape government has congratulated Minister John Steenhuisen, the G20 agricultural ministers, and the National Department of Agriculture on endorsing the landmark G20 Food Security Task Force Declaration under South Africa's G20 presidency. Rooted in the African philosophy of Ubuntu, the declaration underscores a shared global commitment to ensuring that no one is left behind in the fight against hunger and malnutrition. Dr. Ivan Meyer, Western Cape Minister of Agriculture, Economic Development and Tourism, described the agreement as a triumph of collaboration, saying that by placing interdependence and dignity at the center, the G20 has set a new benchmark for international cooperation on food security. The declaration identifies clear priorities, including tackling persistent food inflation, reducing post-harvest losses, and investing in climate-smart farming practices such as drought-resistant crops and efficient irrigation systems. The Western Cape has already aligned its initiatives with these priorities. More than 16,000 household gardens have been established since 2020, boosting community kitchens, schools, and vulnerable households. Feeding schemes reach over 457,000 learners at 1,028 schools and 65,000 children at early childhood centres, while the Smart Agri Plan continues to guide climate-resilient farming. Support for smallholders through finance, training, and blended funding models has strengthened livelihoods, while agri-processing and farming sustain over 300,000 jobs in the province. As these commitments move to the G20 Leaders Summit in Johannesburg this November, Dr. Marais said Africa's priorities must remain central, shaping a global agenda that advances sustainable farming and resilient communities. Cape Town is about to experience a taste of Japan's everyday culture as the city's first konbini-style convenience store prepares to open on Kloof Street. The project, named Kloof Konbini, will bring authentic Japanese favorites such as bento boxes, matcha tea, and onigiri rice balls directly to local shoppers. Konbinis are a cultural staple in Japan, offering quick meals, affordable snacks, and an inviting community vibe. And the Cape Town version aims to replicate that experience for Cape Townians. The initiative is the brainchild of Rebecca Aziz, Minchin Kim, and Duncan Geldenhays, the trio behind How's Your Oni in Greenpoint. Aziz said the idea was sparked by nostalgia from customers who fondly recalled their experiences in Japan's convenience stores, often ranking them above fine dining experiences. Cape Town needed a space like this, she explained, describing the konbini as more than just a store, but a cultural link between Japan and the mother city. Located at 121 Kloof Street, one of Cape Town's most vibrant stretches for food and nightlife, Kloof Konbini is set to become both a destination and a cultural hub. The store will offer Japanese staples alongside locally inspired products, creating a fusion unique to Cape Town. The pop-up will also give local artisans and suppliers opportunities to collaborate, strengthening ties between Cape Town and global culinary trends. While the official opening date is still to be announced, anticipation has already spread across social media, with locals eager to try sushi packs, Japanese sweets, and modern onigiri. Industry insiders say Kloof Konbini could pave the way for more culturally inspired eateries, adding diversity to the city's evolving food landscape. Cape Town residents are set to enjoy a special Heritage Day gift this year, with free access granted to several of the city's most cherished nature reserves. The initiative aims to highlight the deep connection between South Africans and their natural heritage, while encouraging families to spend the public holiday outdoors. The City of Cape Town, which manages 16 reserves and conservation areas across the metro, announced that entry fees will be waived at 4 of its busiest sites: Table Bay, Blouberg, Tygerberg, and Helderberg. These sites usually charge a fee, but today, the 24th of September, access is free. Mayoral Committee Member for Spatial Planning and Environment, Eddie Andrews, said the offer gives residents an opportunity to reconnect with Cape Town's unique biodiversity and cultural history. We are so privileged to be surrounded by pristine, natural beauty. This Heritage Day, we encourage residents to make the most of the public holiday by exploring their local nature reserve or even visiting one they have not experienced before, Andrews explained. Popular facilities such as Blouberg Nature Reserve's Eerste Steen Resort and False Bay Nature Reserve's Zeekoevlei section are expected to attract crowds for braais and picnics. The reserves not only provide open spaces for relaxation, but also play a vital role in conserving Cape Town's rich ecosystems, from wetlands and fynbos to coastal dune systems. While entry is free, certain activities such as fishing or guided tours will still carry standard charges. Other reserves across the metro, including Durbanville, Wolfgat, and Zandvlei, remain open as usual, offering opportunities for birdwatching, hiking, and environmental education. With the city promoting these reserves as living classrooms and vital community spaces, officials hope Heritage Day inspires more residents to support conservation efforts throughout the year. Tensions are rising in Edgemead as residents and business owners rally against a proposal to establish a city improvement district in the northern suburb. The plan has triggered a wave of opposition led by community group Stop Edgemead City Improvement District, which argues the process lacks transparency and risks placing households under severe financial strain. The proposal would require property owners to pay a monthly levy ranging between 200 and 500 rand plus VAT for 5 years, in addition to existing municipal rates and taxes. For many families, already burdened by Cape Town's rising cost of living, this is seen as unaffordable. Kirsten Fernandez, a member of Stop Edgemead City Improvement District, voiced the frustration of many residents. It is baffling that a flawed process with so little actual input could evolve into a multi-million rand business plan that claims to represent our priorities, she said. Local councillor Carl Bodin of Capexit backed residents' concerns, citing SAP's data that shows crime in Edgemead dropped by 27% between 2023 and 2024-2025, suggesting additional levies for safety are unnecessary. Residents also point to existing partnerships with neighbourhood watches, Metro Police patrols and SAPS as proof that the suburb is already well maintained and safe. Ward candidate Kevin Siebert warned that some households may be forced to sell their properties if the City Improvement District goes ahead. Critics also slammed the proposal's claim that 62% of residents supported it, noting that only 579 of more than 3,600 households responded to surveys. The city has yet to finalize the matter, but the growing backlash suggests that the road ahead will be contentious, with Edgemead emerging as a key test case for public trust in Cape Town's City Improvement District model. Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis has called for urgent measures to stop criminals inside Pollsmoor Prison from using cell phones to direct extortion and gang activity across the city. The mayor revealed that construction contractors recently abandoned a project in Bishop Lavis after receiving threats linked to gang leaders operating from inside the prison walls. Hill-Lewis has formally written to Minister of Correctional Services Peter Gronewald, urging government to authorise cell phone jamming technology at Pollsmoor. The city has received various reports that crime and extortion activity is being coordinated by phone from within Pollsmoor. This cannot continue, the mayor stressed. Experts, however, warn that the issue is complex. Criminologist Simon Howell explained that cell phone jamming is prohibited under South African communications law, except under strict state security provisions. Even if approved, signal blocking technology could unintentionally disrupt nearby communities, since radio frequencies are difficult to contain within prison walls. Despite these challenges, Hill-Lewis insists action is needed to protect workers, residents and businesses from organized crime. He has also called for greater coordination between SAPS, the Department of Correctional Services, and the city's law enforcement to clamp down on criminal networks. The debate underscores broader frustrations with South Africa's correctional system, where contraband smuggling and gang influence remain entrenched. Western Cape Minister of Police Oversight and Community Safety, Marais, has praised the tireless work of the South African Police Service and Law Enforcement Advancement Plan officers after a series of major firearm seizures across the province. The operations, carried out between the 20th and 22nd of September, highlight the critical fight against illegal weapons driving gang violence in areas such as Mitchell's Plain, Hanover Park, and Belleville. In Mitchell's Plain, 2 suspects were arrested during stop-and-search patrols, found with pistols and live rounds. A ShotSpotter alert in Hanover Park led to the recovery of yet another illegal weapon. But the most dramatic breakthrough came in Belleville, where an intelligence-led raid uncovered a staggering cache: 6 AK-47 rifles, 8 pistols, and a large quantity of ammunition. Minister Marais emphasized that each firearm seized represents one less weapon that can claim a life or terrorize a community. She warned that illegal guns are fueling murders and shootings, but noted that visible policing and intelligence coordination are turning the tide. The minister urged Cape Townians to stand shoulder to shoulder with law enforcement by reporting suspicious activity and supporting officers in their dangerous work. She concluded that these successes are not victories for government alone, but wins for every family who deserves to live in safer neighborhoods. The Western Cape government has committed to sustaining joint operations and strengthening partnerships between communities and the police. The message is clear. Illegal firearms have no place in the province, and the fight to rid the streets of them will continue relentlessly. The kidnapping case of Cape Town businessman Roger Brijlal has taken a grim turn, as police confirmed that a body found in Philippi East may be his. Brijlal, aged 59, was abducted near his Milnerton home on the 9th of September while driving to work. His VW Amarok was later discovered abandoned in Joe Slovo. Western Cape Police spokesperson Sergeant Wesley Twigg confirmed that detectives from the Provincial Organised Crime Investigation and the Multidisciplinary Anti-Kidnapping Task Team traced the remains to Salt River Mortuary. Formal identification, however, is still pending. Sources close to the family said they grew alarmed on the day of his disappearance when Brijlal, described as a creature of habit, failed to make his usual early morning calls. That afternoon, a missing persons case was opened, and soon after, his family received a chilling ransom demand. Brijlal, who reportedly suffered from hypertension and asthma, was said to be in fragile health, raising concerns about his survival. Police are now investigating both kidnapping and murder cases while pursuing possible suspects, including theories that he may have been targeted by former associates. Twigg urged the public to assist investigators by coming forward with information. For Brijlal's family, the ordeal has been harrowing, and they remain desperate for closure. Cape Town Air Access, powered by Wesgro, has celebrated its 10th anniversary at the Cape Town International Convention Centre, marking a decade of extraordinary progress in connecting Cape Town and the Western Cape to the world. Since its launch in 2015, the award-winning initiative has transformed the province into one of Africa's leading aviation hubs, securing 33 new international routes, adding 11 African destinations, and driving an 80% increase in two-way passenger traffic. In 2024, Cape Town International Airport's international terminal surpassed 3 million passengers for the first time, with volumes now 18% higher than pre-pandemic levels. Cargo growth has been equally impressive, with a record 75,000 tons handled last year and a 56% increase recorded in the first half of 2025. Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis described the initiative as one of South Africa's most successful public-private partnerships, noting that international arrivals have grown at 7% annually, far outpacing national averages. Western Cape Minister of Agriculture, Economic Development and Tourism, Dr. Ivan Meyer, praised air access for boosting exports, investment and jobs, while Alderman James Voss highlighted the tourism and business opportunities generated by each new route. The number of airlines serving Cape Town has risen from 17 to 24, with US connections now secured through Delta and United Airlines flying direct to New York, Washington, and Atlanta. Wesgro CEO Renelle Stander said the next decade must build on this platform with deeper connections into Asia, expanded routes in Africa, and more cargo services for high-value exports. 10 years of proven results, she said, show that strong partnerships and a clear vision can deliver catalytic growth, making Cape Town globally competitive and a natural southern gateway to the continent. 2 Cape Town retail workers have been hailed as heroes after they went out of their way to return a lost wallet to its owner, Marais. The wallet, containing critical identity documents and bank cards, was left behind in a shopping trolley. Brandon Dupreez and Jermaine Johnson, both employees at Mr. Price, found it and, unable to locate contact details, decided to search online for Sukas. Later that evening, Sukas noticed several missed calls on her phone. When she returned the call, she was stunned to find Brandon on the line, explaining that they had found her wallet and were determined to return it safely. Overwhelmed with relief, Sukas praised the men as examples of integrity and citizenship, even tagging their employer online and suggesting they deserved recognition or career advancement. Brandon Dupreez and Jermaine Johnson are my heroes, she wrote, adding that their honesty reflects how they were raised by strong families. She urged South Africans not to lose hope, insisting that these men prove good character is alive and well. The story, shared widely on social media, quickly resonated as a powerful example of ordinary people going beyond expectation to do the right thing. For Sukas, panic turned into gratitude, and for the wider community, it was a moment to celebrate honesty, kindness, and Ubuntu in action. The Knysna's embattled council has survived another political showdown after the National Council of Provinces voted against dissolving the municipality and placing it under administration. The decision, handed down on Friday, leaves the troubled council in charge of its own recovery efforts, despite mounting service delivery failures. 2 weeks ago, Western Cape local government MEC Anton Brijlal invoked Section 139C of the Constitution, moving to dissolve the council after years of governance collapse. The National Council of Provinces, however, split sharply on the matter. 7 provinces, including Limpopo, Eastern Cape, Mpumalanga, Northern Cape, Free State, Gauteng, and Northwest, voted to keep the council intact, while KwaZulu-Natal and the Western Cape backed Brijlal's motion to dissolve. Brijlal slammed the outcome, arguing that the council has failed its people and continues to preside over sewage leaks flowing into streets, homes, and the Knysna estuary, creating dire public health and environmental hazards. A parliamentary committee was dispatched to Knysna this week to hear concerns from stakeholders and assess the situation on the ground. Committee Chair Mxolisi Kaunda highlighted non-functioning water pumps as one of the municipality's most pressing issues, leading to widespread sewer spillages and inconsistent water supply. The committee has given the municipality 14 days to submit a clear recovery plan to address water and sanitation challenges, as well as to resolve disputes with the service provider responsible for pump maintenance. Kaunda warned that the basic right to quality water and sanitation is at risk if these problems are left unchecked. While senior management posts have been filled and the council sits regularly with all oversight committees functional, residents remain skeptical. For many, the National Council of Provinces' decision feels like a lifeline for politicians, but not for the people left to endure daily service delivery failures. The DHL Stormers made a roaring start to their Vodacom United Rugby Championship campaign, thumping defending champions Leinster 35-0 at DHL Stadium on Friday night. The clash, played before a passionate Cape Townian crowd, was a statement of intent from a Stormers side eager to reclaim dominance after a mixed previous season. Fly-half Jury Matthew opened the scoring with 2 penalties, giving the home side a 6-0 halftime lead. But the second half saw the Stormers explode into action, running in 4 unanswered tries. Scrum half Stefan Ungara crossed under the poles after Sebelo Senatla pounced on a loose ball. Power forward Evan Roos and replacement Ruan Ackerman both barged over from mauls before Matthew sealed the bonus point by slicing through a gap and racing away to score. Matthew contributed a personal haul of 20 points, converting 3 tries and slotting 3 penalties. Leinster, known for their iron defence, were shut out completely, unable to register a single point. The emphatic victory not only secured a bonus point, but also sent a clear warning to rival teams. Skipper Ruhan Nel praised the squad's discipline and composure, saying the result was a sign of the hard work put in during pre-season. For the Stormers, the win marked one of their most dominant displays at home, giving fans reason to dream of another strong campaign. Monday will start on a cloudy note before clearing into a cool and breezy spring day across Cape Town, Paarl, and Stellenbosch. Cape Town can expect a maximum of 18 degrees and a low of 11, with fresh southwesterly winds reaching up to 35 kilometers per hour by the afternoon. Paarl will remain slightly warmer, peaking at 21 and dipping to 10 overnight, while Stellenbosch will sit in between with a high of 20 and a low of 11. The Atlantic will bring swells of around 2.5 meters with a steady 14-second period, creating good conditions for surfers, but a rougher sea for swimmers. Low tide will occur just after 7:20 in the morning, with high tide returning at 1:10 in the afternoon. Sunrise is at 6:22 and sunset at 18:43. With UV levels edging towards moderate, it's a fine start to the week outdoors. With that, we wrap up this week's recap, and now you know what's happening in the mother city. Thank you for watching Cape Town News. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story. We appreciate your support. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget, the next bulletin drops tomorrow at 12 noon on YouTube. Meanwhile, stay safe, informed, and connected.